Thank you everyone for joining me today in today's series, and welcome back to this channel. For those that have been with me for some time now, when I started the channel in about a year ago, and I want to announce that my channel is actually a year this month, so it's actually a big milestone for me and for this channel. So for those that are just joining us for the first time, my name is Imane Itoje. I'm a Microsoft 365 subject matter expert. I talk about things around Microsoft 365, Microsoft Azure, cloud security, and Azure AI on this channel. But today's series is focused on introduction to Copilot for Microsoft 365. So we want to look at what is Copilot for Microsoft 365. So for some time now, AI has been around, and we hear of ChatGPT, and Microsoft actually designed their own Copilot, which is one of them is for Microsoft 365. So let's check that. So in today's agenda, we're going to look at what is Copilot for Microsoft 365, how Copilot for Microsoft 365 works, and what are the core components of Copilot for Microsoft 365. Then we'll look at Microsoft commitments to responsible AI. So basically, Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365 is an AI feature that integrates large language models, LLM with Microsoft Graph and Microsoft 365 Apps data. So what it does is to revolutionize your work. So basically, so let's go on. So Microsoft 365, what is it actually? Copilot for Microsoft 365. So for in Microsoft 365 system, Copilot represents a new work paradigm fostering collaboration between AI and employee, and the aim is to transform work in the digital age. And this Copilot for Microsoft 365 is powered by LLMs, which is large language models, and it utilizes Microsoft Graph data. We're going to look at that, what Microsoft Graph data is. Then it offers seamless integration with Microsoft 365 suite. So that's actually what basic definition or what Microsoft 365 Copilot is. And around the trusted data security, what Microsoft 365 Copilot offers is a real-time access to Microsoft Graph for generating responses ingrained in business context. So basically, the Microsoft Graph is like an intelligent system that's powered Microsoft 365 and other applications in Microsoft 365. So, and it's Microsoft 365 in still on the security, data security part. It helps to navigate and deliver precise, contextual, aware, and responses which aligns with an ongoing works. What that means is that as you're working your way with the Microsoft 365 Copilot, it actually aligns right with what you're currently doing, and it's rests on Microsoft comprehensive security, compliance, and privacy approach. What does that mean? The same security, the same compliance, which is known as purview, and privacy that Microsoft has is actually the same thing that Microsoft 365 Copilot or Copilot for Microsoft 365 also looks at. Examples of Microsoft 365 Copilot in actions. For example, in Outlook, for example, it helps you to summarize large email trends. You're going to see this in a demo. Then for PowerPoint, which is something I like, one of the things I like more about Microsoft 365 Copilot is that it helps to condense text every slide for clarity. And look at in Microsoft Word, for example, now it helps to rewrite paragraphs in a different tone, in a different style, basically. So we'll look at what how can I be Microsoft 365 Copilot ready? So for my organization, let's say I'm an IT for my organization now. I can now make my organization to actually be Microsoft 365 Copilot ready. So before you can actually purchase Microsoft 365 Copilot, Microsoft 365 Copilot is more or less like an add-on, right? And it sits on, you must either have either the Microsoft 365 E3 or E5 for enterprise, or even the Office 365 E3 or E5. If you're an educational institution, for example now, A3 or A5 for faculty, or for small it's Microsoft 365 Business Standard or Business Premium, and there are a lot of other subscription that you must actually have in your environment. This documentation is quite hard from Microsoft, so there are other subscription that you have that you must have before you can actually purchase the Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, another thing you must consider is that Microsoft Entra ID based account is required for authentication. What does that mean? You must have a work or school account. So with Microsoft 365 Copilot or Copilot for Microsoft 365, you cannot use that with your personal accounts like your Gmail, Outlook.com or Ultimate.com, right? You can only use with a work or school account that has your school domain. And another thing you must consider is you must be OneDrive account that enables Copilot to collaborate on content. So they must have a OneDrive account that enables collaboration because Copilot needs to work on content with you, so there must be OneDrive account. Then for on the side of Outlook, the new Outlook for Windows enables Copilot integration. So if you're still using the classic Outlook or the old Outlook, you cannot use the Microsoft 365 Copilot. You must be on the new Outlook. So let's explore how Copilot for Microsoft 365 works. Now, one of the things that Microsoft 365 Copilot does is that it tries to understand context and also the user needs. I mean, it excels in understanding human needs by analyzing content, by gaining personal insights, and also real-time monitoring. So one of the things that it does is understanding the context. We want to understand what is actually the things you need, and it also transforms how you work. It takes action through powerful search, natural phrasing like with LLMs, and a refined recommendations. So whenever you use your prompts, you select the right prompt or you input the right prompt. Basically, what it does is that it takes action through powerful search. It uses the natural language to redefine your recommendations, and it also offer key capabilities like optimize work efficiency through enhanced engagement, streamline communication, and even a robust support for writing, for presentation, for data analysis, security, and user control. So in writing, for example, your Microsoft Word, for example, now it combines LLM with word content by reducing the digital overwork. Like it combines those things. It helps you to write your graphs, and also it helps you to summarize lengthy thread and aid in drafting responses like in your emails, for example. Now in your presentation, it can help you to actually draft simplify starting presentation with natural language. It helps you to analyze trends, create visualization and provide recommendations in your Microsoft Excel, for example. Now and it ensures data protection with comprehensive enterprise control, talking about your security, and it allows control over AI suggestion, emphasizing the human element in the interaction. So there must be human factor, right? That's a part of the user control. It is until you approve that this is what you want, that is when you can keep it. You have the opportunity to keep whatever draft that the pilot has actually provided for you. It keeps you engaged in meetings and provide quick catch-ups for missed ones. So if you're using it in Microsoft Teams, for example, now it helps you to, it keeps you engaged. Can provide maybe you step away for some seconds and you've missed some part of the meeting. You can actually use it in your Microsoft Teams meeting to actually help you to catch up with whatever has been discussed while you're away. Now, if you're still on exploring how Microsoft 365 Copilot work, now for what you can see on the right hand side here, we can see the logical architecture of Copilot. So it starts with a user interacting with a desktop or a laptop, whatever, then using any of these office applications, be it the Microsoft Teams, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, or Outlook. Now the Copilot is here with every related component. Then we have the Microsoft Graphs. Microsoft Graph is actually like a web base that helps you to connect things together, things around your teams, your group, your calendar, file, this is user your devices, insight, people, your meetings and all that. That's what Microsoft Graph contains. Then you have your organization data here. At the organization data level, you have the one where you have the files, your folders, your meeting recordings, and and all. Then you have your exchange here, which is actually responsible for your emails, right? So you have the group mailboxes, you have the user mailboxes here. So these are organization data. Then at this level also, we have the organization data in SharePoint, where you have either your communication site or team site. Communication site is actually for your announcement, or for your team site for collaboration. Then we have your team's chat as well here, talking about Viva Engage group. Like if you're using the former name known as Yammer, so Viva Engage is like your intranet in your organization, like your social media in your organization. So this is how copilots work logically. It's in between the application that is speaking to the Microsoft Graph, and the Microsoft Graph is picking those data from either your OneDrive, your SharePoint, your Exchange, your Teams. And it is very important to know that users can actually initiate Copilot prompt from devices that has the Microsoft 365 apps installed. So you must actually have either the apps installed or on the web. You can interact with Copilot. And Copilot components include the services that which orchestrates the responses to user prompts and an instance of the Microsoft Graph for the data of your Microsoft 365 tenants. So the Microsoft Graph is like the data or the database for all your data in your environment, and the tenant that contains your organization data, which is are the things that we'll talk about here, both your OneDrive, your SharePoint, your Teams, your Exchange, and etc. So the next thing we want to talk about, we want to explore the core components of the Copilot for Microsoft 365. Right. So this Copilot for Microsoft 365 or Microsoft 365 Copilot has like five major components. So this the one you can see here are the first three, talking about the LLM. Again, LLM is a large language model which specializes in understanding and generating human-like text. Now, if you used the chat GPT before, so it's actually what is a large language. The chat GPT was actually built on a large language model, which is the same thing with the Copilot. And for LLMs, they operate as generative AIs. They produce new content for you. So in generative AIs, you ask a question, it produces a content for you, a new content that is different, and it provides the engine that drives Copilot's capability. So LLM is actually where the end is actually what drives those capabilities that we have in Word, in Excel, in Teams, even in Outlook, and it is privately hosted on the Azure OpenAI service. So for on Azure, for example, now we have the Azure OpenAI service as the result of the partnership between Microsoft with OpenAI. So where LLMs are hosted is on the Azure OpenAI service. So the next component is the natural language processes, NLP. Now, NLPs are actually key AI technologies for machines to understand and interpret and respond to human languages. So, as the name implies, natural language, right? As I'm talking, that's my natural language. As I'm typing, as I'm writing, that's my natural language. So, what this component helps to it includes tokenization, semantic analysis, even sentiment analysis, and even language translation. So in the Azure AI, for example, now, so for semantic analysis, the sentiment analysis that helps to ensure whether the person is feeling good, or the response or what the person has typed, is the person okay or is the person not feeling fine, something like that. And it also translate language. Then the third component is the Microsoft 365 app. So you cannot interact with Microsoft 365 Copilot without having the Microsoft 365 app, be it the one that is installed locally on your system or on the web. So for Microsoft 365 app, it helps to collaborate seamlessly with Copilot, enhancing your user support across the entire Office suite. For example, Copilot in Word specifically assists users in the process of creating, comprehending, and also editing Word documents. So these are Microsoft 365 apps is actually very, very important. Like in PowerPoint, for example, now Copilot helps you to draft a PowerPoint presentation. It can even interact with your Word. Maybe you have a file that is saved in your OneDrive, a Word document that is saved in your OneDrive. You can point the PowerPoint to that particular OneDrive and tell Copilot to create a PowerPoint presentation from that particular Word document. So the next component we're going to talk about here is The Microsoft Graph itself. So Microsoft Graph is a unified Microsoft 365 service and data through a central API endpoint. So where everything is connected is a Microsoft Graph, right? Your devices, your emails, Teams, they are all connected from the Microsoft Graph. So even the users, your meetings, your calendar, reports, charts, everything is connected to Microsoft. So it enables Copilot to leverage the Microsoft Graph and this semantic index to synthesize and search tenant content. So once your semantic index has been built after assigning, purchasing and assigning copilots for your users, it takes about 10 to 11 days for the semantic index to be built. So you have to wait for some time after assigning the license, and it ensures a secure compliance assistance aligned with user permission. So unless you have access to a particular location, you cannot prompt Copilot to bring information from that location from you. So that's one of the security, right? Then the last component is Microsoft Copilot itself, which enhances user interaction through a conversational chat format, improving context, and it utilizes LLM and contextual prompts with user business data and apps, surfacing relevant insights. So the Microsoft Copilot itself works alongside with Microsoft Graph, working alongside with your Microsoft 365 apps and your natural language processing, as well as your LLM, mix up what we know as the Microsoft 365 Copilot today. Now, let's quickly examine how Microsoft is committed to responsible AI. Now, we can't talk about an AI technology in Microsoft space without talking about the principle of responsible AI. Now, Microsoft integrates AI into its operations with strong emphasis on ethic and responsibility. So, Microsoft harnesses a blend of ethical AI principle, compliance standards for AI, and comprehensive AI research, including privacy-centric machine learning. So for Microsoft mission is to make AI system trustworthy and empower customers for responsible AI use. Now, these are the core principles of the core principles of responsible AI. Talking about the fairness, right? Microsoft integrate the following key principle. The first one is the fairness. So fairness is striving to eliminate biases for equal treatment of all users, right? So Microsoft tried as much as possible to actually eliminate biases. So whether or not the person is from the different race, different color, AI principle must actually be fair to all. The second principle is reliability and safety. Now, with reliability and safety, a rigorous testing ensures consistent and safe AI performance. So, Microsoft ensure that there is a rigorous testing of the AI system that is being built to ensure that it is actually, safe, reliable, right? It is safe, it is reliable for users that are using it. Then the next principle talks about privacy and security. Now, Microsoft is committed to safeguarding users' data in all phases. So when even though the Microsoft Copilot, have access to your organization data, it ensures that those data are not being used to train the AI in whatsoever way. It's not being used to train the model in whatsoever way. The organization data, the prompt, everything stays in your tenant. The next principle is inclusiveness. Now, with inclusiveness, crafting AI tools for accessibility and benefit for everyone. So whether or not the person is have a form of disability or not, AI include everyone. Everyone. When Microsoft is building the AI system from their principle, it's craft AI tools for accessibility and its benefit for everyone. Now, the four principles are actually sitting on transparency and accountability. Now, transparency is keeping users informed about AI system and their purposes. Right, users must be kept informed that, oh, this is the purpose of this AI system, this is the use of this AI system. No, and in accountability, Microsoft is adhering to ethical and legal standard holding developers accountable. So people that are building this AI system, they are being held accountable for this system. If the system is maybe malfunction, for example, maybe the system, an AI system is used for a bank app to issue loan, and the system is messing up, is maybe is being biased or any other thing, right? So the developer are held accountable. You can't say this AI is AI making the decision. No, the developer that developed the AI system, what have you done in your code? What are the things you train the AI for? So they are responsible for everything. So thank you so much for today. We'll be stopping there for today, and in the next session we'll be looking at what are some of the things, right? Different use cases, different things that we can use in Copilot. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.